Find us on Facebook, email us at head2headpinball@gmail.com or go to our website at head2headpinball.com. Welcome everybody to the Head2Head Pinball Podcast. This is episode 49 and my name's Martin and with me
it's Ryan C. Time for another special guest, Marty. Who do we have today?
Well, I think it's time to talk to somebody about a pinball event. What do you think?
Sure. Let's go Pintastic on this weekend. How about that?
I think that's a big event, and it's become a really big event. And you know, in Australia, we've only really had one massive sort of like mega event. So it'd be really good to talk to somebody about, you know, what it's like putting on one of these events. Have we got somebody lined up?
Yes, you do, Marty. It's Gabe. Gabe from Pintastic. How you going?
I'm good, guys. I'm great, actually.
Fantastic. And with only, I guess, a few more days to go, I'd imagine you're still really busy?
Pretty much. I mean, we have everything set up now, and it's just we're kind of on autopilot right now, so just waiting for the show, actually.
So can you give us a bit of a history on Pintastic, how long you've been running it for and how it's grown over the years?
This is our fourth year coming up. We started in 2015, and we've grown about 30% in attendance every year since the beginning. I started with a partner originally, and you know, we tried to do everything ourselves, and it was just way too much, and we ended up losing money, and my partner ended up dropping out. And after that, I kind of expanded, and I brought in a bunch of help for the seminar program, Dave Marston, and a guy to do the website, Gerard, and we expanded into different areas, repair team, and someone, you know, Dave Medor to set up the free play hall. You can't do a show like this by yourself. You got to have people to take over certain areas.
Yeah. And what differentiates your show from others? Because I can see kind of online you've got like different levels of passes kind of mirroring the Stern, you know, Pro Premium limited edition kind of thing. So can you describe that for us?
We wanted to, when I started the show, I wanted to do like a Texas Pinball Expo combination type of show, and then also Allentown thrown in there in the mix. So it's a combination of those three shows in my head, and then we added the extra stuff like what you said this year, where you have we have some premium packages. So we have an LED package which gets you a lot of cool stuff like swag, you know, custom things that are done for just those people, and they get like we have a extra ball lounge, which is a 24-hour room, and most of my games go in there, and my games rotate throughout the show, but most of them are in there, and you can have access to that room 24 hours a day. So basically you can play pinball for 64 hours straight, or 67 hours straight if you want.
And do you find that a lot of people do use those rooms, and just, you know, I'm looking at the website now, you just sell 100 limited edition passes. So yeah, how many people are sitting there at 7 a.m. that haven't gone to sleep playing pinball?
Last year, about 5:30 a.m., there was about 25 people in there.
Jeez.
Okay.
So basically, with the premium package, you can get access to that room between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. So, you know, the vendor hall closes at 9 p.m., and in the vendor hall, we have a lot of the brand new games. The manufacturers are all in there, and we wheel a lot of those games into that overnight room so that those games can keep getting played in that, you know, that room. The nice thing about the hotel is you go up, you know, in the middle of the day when it's really busy and there's long lines, you can go up and sleep in your room and take a nap, and then come down for the evening and just play all night if you want.
And so what do you think has been probably the biggest challenge that you've had putting this event on each year?
Probably, you know, the biggest challenge is getting the games, getting people to bring the games, and getting the vendors to come and set up. And then, you know, getting the speakers is another big challenge. I go to a lot of Texas and Expo to, you know, to talk with people, and to, you know, you got to become friends with these people. You got to keep asking them to come, and eventually they will come. And we have every year we've expanded on our speaker lineup. We have a huge lineup of special guests this year.
So who do we have this year?
We got John Borg, George Gomez, Lyman Sheets, Todd Tuckey, which you guys talked about on your last podcast.
Yeah.
We got Jack from Jersey Jack Pinball, Paul Ferris, and pinball. We usually bring in pinball artists every year. We got Butch Peel, Joe Balser from American Pinball. We got Dan Spolar from our charity, Adam Rubin, Eric Stone, and John Greatwich, and Adam Kiesler, Bob Thurman. There's a lot of guests this year, and they do a lot of different types of seminars. Our seminar program is very, very well run by Dave Marston.
The reason why I guess I asked, what's the challenge is that, a bit of a history for us in Australia. We have a couple of events, usually, around a tournament, but we've only really ever had one big pinball show, and it was called Pinball Expo. It was 4 years ago, sort of in Sydney. And it hasn't been done since, and I think it nearly killed the organisers. There was only a couple of them, and it's probably well documented. They probably didn't have as many helpers as they thought. It was a massive undertaking for the first time. It was 300 machines, so it was probably a bit too much too soon. But they've never done one since, and ever since that time, every once in a while you'll hear on the forums or in social media people say, "We really need to do another one. Let's just put another one on. It was such a great event." And you can people are sort of going, this stuff is really hard. How do you, as an individual, and obviously the team around you, make this such a success?
Well, after the year ends, after the show ends, we take about a 2-week rest, and then we start again. And it's every once a month. It starts off as a conference call between about 8 to 10 people. Monthly, and then as we get closer to the show, it becomes we have meetings, and then the monthly conference calls become 2 times a month, and then 3 times a month, and then going to shows. It's a constant thing. I mean, you got to stay on it. It's like a full-time job.
But is that sort of your background? Have you done sort of management or project management, that kind of stuff, to be able to coordinate so many people?
I am a manager at work, so at my job, so it definitely helped out. I run a crew, and for what I do at work, and it definitely helps. But you gotta change things up every year. Is what I think. You can't just do the same thing every year in, year out. You gotta have something different for people. Something they're not gonna come if it's the same old thing every year.
Well, in the US you can't, because you have so many options. In Australia, I think we just run the worst event ever. We just want anything. So what? Besides, I mean, you've got that 24-hour access room. I think that's the first time you did it. I mean, last year there was a famous kind of Booth Babe situation, which I think you cancelled. Is there anything else this year that you're trying?
Yeah, the Pintastic girls didn't work out very well. So it was funny because everybody wanted it, and then when they were there sitting there, and everybody was scared to go talk to them.
That's pinball folk.
Yeah. So plus my wife wasn't too happy about that, but
maybe booth guys instead of booth babes.
Yeah, well. That's what she said after she knew that the girls were there. She said, "We're the booth guys," But no, it's a family show. I mean, we bring in a lot of kids' entertainment too. We have a clown there that's doing balloon animals and face painting for free. We have a character artist there that does character artists and on adults and of kids and all that stuff. It's all free, and you pay one admission at the door and everything is free inside. We have a beach. We have a hotels on a lake with a nice beach, and we have a lot of nice restaurants around the place. So you can walk to restaurants, really nice restaurants. There's all kinds of food in the area, and it's just a nice place to be. Especially in the summer over here, and it's all air conditioned inside. So,
have you found that the growth each year has mainly been pinball-related people, or is the growth from people outside of pinball coming for, a cool weekend, with the family, face painting and all that jazz?
No, I think that, I always did the kids' entertainment stuff to grab the people the local people and the people in the area to come. They'll come for that. They'll. If you just tell them there's pinball, they probably won't come. But if you tell them there's face painting and balloon animals, they'll come, and then they'll fall in love with the pinball machines, and then that grows the hobby. And so we have a lot of kids, a lot of women at the show, and that's how you're going to grow the hobby, or else I feel that it's going to die, eventually if you don't do that.
And so where do all the pinball machines come from?
The pinball machines come from, me personally, I'm bringing 26 of my own pinball machines from my own collection that are all, pimped out with all kinds of modifications, Titan rubbers, color DMDs. I'm bringing 18 games with color DMDs in them, all coin taker LEDs, and they're all beautiful games, and I put them out there for people to play once a year. That's what I do. And then the rest of the games come from the collectors, and the collectors bring the games for, a lot of them for sale, and a lot of them are for show, just to show off, because we do best in show contests at the show, and we this year we started a new point system where, if you bring we tried to sway the people to bring certain games that are like from our special guests that we're bringing in, and for rare games or for newer games, and games in the top 50 of the Pinside top 50. We do a lot of that, and if you leave your game till 10 p.m. on Saturday night, we all those tickets. We go around and we pull all the tickets off of all the games that are in the free play room at 10 p.m. on Saturday night. And we put them all into a hat, and we pull names out, and they win. We give away about $3,000 in cash and prizes. I put up $2,000 in cash, and all the prizes from all the vendors, and that's what people wait for. That's why they leave the games. That's why we have so many games at the end. So
how many games can people expect overall this year?
Right now we have about 195 games registered for the free play room, and we have about another 60 or 70 games in the vendor hall, and then we have another 25 games in the VIP room, and we have another 12 games in one of our tournaments, another 10 games in another. We have two big tournaments. So we have a tournament room, which goes till very late, and then we have a regular tournament that's the Silver Ball Rumble in the vendor hall, and that's run by the guys in the Sanctum.
So my math is pretty bad, but I think that's about 300 to 350 machines all up.
Yeah, it's a little over 300 total.
Yeah, okay.
What sort of formats will the tournaments be?
I know the Silver Ball Rumble is Papa style tournament.
Okay.
They're gonna run the Papa style tournament, and they run, and they're gonna be doing this live streaming as well on that stuff. And then the other tournament is in like another one of their own rooms, and they're gonna be running pin golf. 3 tournaments for each day. They're gonna run a separate tournament. It's gonna be more casual, no points, more from just the casual person walking in and to enjoy, because we've learned that the Silver Ball Rumble tournament is like the high end, really the tournament people who are they're very good. So someone could be easily intimidated if they're going in there and trying to play against them. So we figured we bring in this other tournament, and I think hopefully it'll do well this year.
And so I guess what's the profile of people that come? Are you getting a lot of the regular pinheads, or are you getting sort of a lot more just casual people coming along as well?
No, I mean we do get a lot of the pinheads from the New England area, New York, and Canada. They all come this way, all to the show, and then we do get a lot of walk-in people from the area that are they just want to play pinball, and then if they really like it, they'll buy a machine and take it home, and then the next year they'll be a game bringer. So
okay,
that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Again, I'm sort of asking that because one of the challenges that the Australian Expo had was, they paid money to a PR company to do some advertising, and it really wasn't well spent. So what sort of publicity do you do to generate people coming along to the event?
We do a lot of Facebook advertising. We do radio advertising, local radio advertising. I send out about 45 to 60 packages of about 200 cards and 10 posters to all. I have a list of people that promote the show within the whole New England area. They go out, they give out cards, they hang out posters, and that spreads the word. They put it in all the pinball, all the pinball arcades everywhere. That there's a pinball machine. There's a poster hanging for the show. So that gets those people aware.
The problem I always have with like when I advertise stuff is that I never know what's working and what's not when you're running kind of concurrent marketing strategies. So how do you know which one is the most effective? I mean, do you have I used to do like different discount codes for all the advertising things, and that's the only way I could kind of track it. So
last year we started doing a survey. We did a survey at the end of the show, and a lot of those questions were answered there. And as people walk in the door, we ask them how they heard about the show. And we have a checklist where, Facebook, Pinside, all radio, and then on our website it tells us exactly where people are coming from. So for the hits on the website.
So what is the most? Is it Facebook? Is it Pinsides? What's working? At the moment?
It's Google. It's Google search first, then Facebook, and then Pinside.
What are people searching for? Are they searching for Pintastic, or are they searching for like pinball shows, or?
I don't know. It just says Google. Just says Google search.
That's all you need to know.
We're asking very specific questions. We're pretty interested in
we are because we are also wanting to encourage more events. Obviously in Australia, and if you've done all the hard yards and you've made all the mistakes and that we can learn from, that can be only good for us and for other people putting on events.
Yeah, I mean, you do make the mistakes, and you do change things up every year. I listen to people. That's why people love the show, because I listen to the comments. I listen to what they want. They want to play late. I extended the hours. They want to play all night. I gave them all night. They want a different T-shirt every year, where we bring in a different artist to do the T-shirt, and the artist is there at the show signing posters. We did that too. All these things cost money. We bring in all these people, all these guests that nobody's ever seen. So that's what people want to do. That's what people want. They don't want just the pinball machines are the biggest part. People come to play pinball, but the other stuff is really cool too.
Yeah, I remember the T-shirt last year. It was like a custom Zombie Yeti design with like a Magic Girl style girl. I'm not sure if we can legally call her Magic Girl, and like the Black Knight as well. It was a pretty damn cool piece of art. So, who have you got doing the artwork this year? We have our in-house artist did the shirt this year, and he's it's a dialed-in theme this year. It's a shirt. That's right. Yeah, I've seen that one. It looks really good.
Stuff for the LE packages, and the shirt is going to be full color, but that's the LE is a screen printed. It's a screen printed design. So I don't know if you ever see one of those, like a screen printed poster. It's very cool. The poster, this year's poster is done by Paul Ferris, so he's doing the poster that's going to be the show poster.
So let's talk about you and your love of pinball. So obviously your 26 machines are going in. What are some of the favourite machines that you're playing at the moment?
Well, actually, I have 28 machines, but I have the Hobbit and the Wizard of Oz are not going to the show.
Yeah, fair enough.
Cool. They're just too heavy, and I just don't want to move them.
Yeah, I know.
I love. I mean, my collection is pretty much put together of about 100 games that I've had up and down my stairs and in and out of my house, and eventually I've come to love. This is my collection, that I really love. So I put it all together, and I love a lot of the AC/DC, the Metallica. I got a really custom Metallica that I put together, and it's just a lot of. I like the Stearns games. I like the Jersey Jack games. I like a lot of the old Data East games, like Tales from the Crypt, one of my favorite games. Actually, the Royal Rumble, that's one of my favorite games. I play that all the time. And the Guns N' Roses, love that game. There's stuff like that, it's just a lot of the Theater of Magic, Tales of Arabian Nights, two great games that I love and will never sell.
It's interesting that you say you mention a couple of Data East games, because Data East games get a bit of flack, but they're actually great games for the era, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're just especially now that they've come out with color DMD for most of them, that just really makes them pop out great. And I love the Dad East games because it's easy to get multi-ball for one, but they're just fun. I mean, and our great artwork. Like a lot of times, I'll just walk around my game room and look at the artwork and all the machines. I don't even play them a lot that much. I just look and see how cool it is. Every time I walk by one, I see something different. So
yeah, they definitely had a certain distinct art style at the time.
Yeah.
And so, what modern machines are you sort of playing at the moment?
Dialed In is probably the game that I play the most right now. The TNA that I got that's a pretty cool game. I'm very bad at it, but I'm learning slowly.
Yeah, there's a steep learning curve.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm picking up a Houdini at the show, and that'll be one of the games I pick up this year. And I played that a lot at the other shows, so I'm looking forward to having that into my Magic theme that I like. I have a couple good cool Magic games.
So what are your thoughts on Houdini? Because we sort of, I got to play it during the week. And we're going to talk about it more after this interview. But I'm just keen to know what your thoughts are on Houdini so far. Obviously it's likable enough for you to want one.
Yeah, I actually had a really good game on it at Texas, and I got the inverted and reverse flippers and 6-ball multi-ball going. It was very, very exciting for me. I don't think the shots are extremely tight. I mean, Tales from the Crypt has some tight shots as well, and you learn them. I mean, it just has a lot of cool stuff going on for it. And I talked to Josh after I played the game, and he went on and on and on about the rules and how cool it actually is. So I'm looking forward to really getting into the game once I get it to my house.
Yeah, I think that's probably my summary is that it's not an easy game, right? By any stretch, it is not an easy game, and in a way that makes it more appealing, particularly for a home game when you've got as much time and you don't have to put money into the machine, so you've got time to actually adjust your play style to the machine, and you have to adjust your play style to that machine.
Yeah, I mean, I like Joe Balser designs. I have, The Hobbit. I have Wizard of Oz. I have Simpsons, and the Houdini. I feel some of his other stuff in that game, and I love. One thing I love about Houdini is the magnets. I love magnets. Magnets in games are my favorite. So, just the crazy magnet action in that game is very cool. Yeah. So I really think it's got a lot of staying power, like you said, and that games nowadays have to have that. So, in order for you to keep it in your collection, anyway, my collection.
So what do you think about Oktoberfest as a theme? I mean, it's rumored, I guess, to be their second game. Is that theme wise? Obviously, no one really knows much about it. Besides, it has free flippers and different. So,
I think that they can make. I think they can make something very fun out of it. I mean, as long as they bring a lot of comedy back into pinball, is really a cool thing it's been lacking, right?
Yeah,
as of late,
Yeah, pinball is starting to take itself a bit too seriously.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it has some cool shots, has some cool toys, and some comedy in it. I mean, I'm sure they're not going to have all. I'm sure it's going to be family friendly somewhat. I mean, I know Joe will probably throw some hidden stuff in there, but I'm sure it'll be a great game. Those guys know what they're doing.
How do you, going back to the show a little bit, I mean, one of the big things about the Chicago Pinball Expo and I guess Texas Pinball Festival now is that it's usually such a big show that all the eyes in the industry are kind of on those events, and companies, if it suits them, might launch and reveal their new pinball machine there. Do you ever ask manufacturers if they can do that? I mean, as I said, obviously they're limited by their schedules and stuff. But for example, CGC, they initially said, we're going to show our game number 3 at Texas. That got delayed. That was 3 or so months ago. Are they planning to talk or anything at your show? Or
no, we've been talking to Doug Duba, and we've had our distributor talking to him, and I think we're going to miss the launch of the game within a few weeks, I believe. But Yeah, we're trying to get that, and we can't, you can't go at them too hard, or else they'll get discouraged. So you just got to keep putting a bug in their ear, and then if it happens, it happens. Like last year, we had the first Star Wars Pro that was ever played at our show. So that it just sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't. But we're not going for, we would love a reveal, but who knows? Someday we'll get one. But right now we're doing our thing, and it's working. So people will eventually realize that Pintastic is one of the top shows, and we're climbing quickly. So
so what do you want Pintastic to be known for?
I call it a 4-day party myself. I mean, it's very late night. During the day it's family friendly, and then at nighttime it just gets like crazy party. We got biggest liquor store in the whole area next door to the show. So
sounds great.
Yeah, so you can get really crazy, and we got the speakers. We bring in the speakers, and they're not just like, they don't just like Texas, or maybe not Texas, but Expo. They don't just come in and then leave. They're there for the whole weekend. You can talk to them, you can party with them, they're drinking with them. They're getting everybody's getting hammered, and you can talk to people. You can talk to ask them questions, and they'll actually they'll answer. And oh, no, I shouldn't have said that. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, I met you, Gabe, at Texas Pinball Festival, and it was like 2 a.m, and I was kind of ready to go to sleep, and you're like, hey Ryan, do you want to, me and a couple of guys are going out here and there, and do you want to come? I'm like, I need some sleep, man. I'm going to be up in a couple of hours. I actually need some sleep, but I guess you're a bit of a late night guy, aren't you, Gabe?
Yeah, I mean, you got to at some point you got to just grab a Red Bull and hit it, and then you're ready to go for a few more hours. But I go to bed. Like it's come 2 a.m. The free play room closes. I wrap up the box office, and I have security. I have security watching the overnight room, so my games don't walk away. I go to bed. I can't. I got to get at least 4 hours. I get about 4 hours sleep every night, and then back to the show. It's craziness.
Bloody hell! And then 2 weeks of sleep after.
Actually, I only take a day off after the show and then go back to work. Believe it or not.
Marty, is this conversation making you want to possibly run an event more or less?
Okay, let me tell you what it's trying to make me do. Run an event just like this. And the reason why I say that is, if I think about Chicago Pinball Expo, it's very serious and it's an industry one. When I think of Texas Pinball Festival, again, I think it is quite... It's serious, and there's all these different things, and every second you've got to be somewhere. But I think this sounds like exactly what you just said, Gabe. This is just one big giant pinball party. I think this sounds great. And as soon as you said, there's a big liquor store right next door to it, like, I was sold right then. But I like that, because really what it's saying is, it's all about the fun. You just turn up and you'll just have 4 days of fun, and you'll go away being very satisfied that you've played a lot of pinball and had a lot of fun.
Oh, believe me, there's pinball. There's we have a big auction at the show. We have the kid stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you can actually. There's a lot of people that miss stuff. There's just too much stuff to do at the show. You can't. I mean, we have like a gaming area, a console gaming area that we have too at the show. It goes on and on and on. I try to give everybody too much stuff to do so that they don't feel bored ever, so that's my goal.
One of the other challenges that I've known from larger shows with upwards of 200 machines is the maintenance of the machines throughout the tournament, throughout the expo, because they're going to get played a lot. How have you got that covered?
Yeah, we have a repair team. Tony is the head of our repair team. We have about 10 guys, and they rotate throughout, and we actually have a very modern system where every machine has a QR code on the game card. So if there's a game that goes down, you could scan that QR code with your phone, or you can punch in the URL. When you punch in the URL, it brings up a repair ticket. You can click on certain things like ball stuck, game resetting, all flippers stuck or something like that. You can do whatever you want. Send it. It goes right to our repair desk, and the guys go over, they fix it. We rarely have any games down at the show, maybe 1 or 2 at a time, and that's
insane. How do you? Is that like an industry first? So are you kind of modeling that off another system you saw?
No, this is a new industry first system. We invented this system this year. We have a programmer that programmed this whole system in play. We have a lot of cool stuff this year. We have an up to date list of the pinball machines in the free play room and the prices of what, it's real time. So if a game sells, it says it's sold. If it's for sale, it tells you the price. If they want to lower the price, they go on and they can lower it. We have a in-house programmer that has done everything this year for us and done all of this stuff. It's crazy.
You need to sell that QR system thing to like the Pinball Hall of Fame or something, so they know which pinballs to fix.
You can go into if you register a game, and if you want to change the game, you can go log into your system and you can change the game right on the system. It's very modern. It's very cool. You have to have that kind of stuff. You have to innovate like that, or else you'll just become a relic. That's the way I feel.
So just in general, what do people need to know about the event this weekend? Where it is, how much it's going to cost?
Yeah, it's at the Sturbridge Host Hotel in Sturbridge, Massachusetts, and it starts for if you're an LE package holder, you can start playing pinball at 11 a.m. on Thursday. If not, you can start at 6 p.m. on Thursday, and then it's open till 2 a.m. Thursday. Then the vendor hall opens on Friday at 10 a.m. and closes at 9, and the free play room opens at 10 a.m. and closes at 2 a.m. That's when our other tournament room opens, and then the Silver Ball Rumble starts that day as well. Saturday, same thing, till 2 a.m., and then the overnight room is all night, of course. It's $25, so for an adult, it's $25. You can play 16 hours, and for a kid, it's $10. They can play 16 hours if they want as well. That's the general admission.
We can't do those prices in Australia, can we, Marty? Like if we ran this event, it'd be a lot more than that, I think.
It would have to be, yeah. But again, it's one thing. But we're a big country by landmass, but we're small as far as population goes. And then, the pinball community is part of that smaller population. It's a limited amount of people, so we probably could have put more on. But also there are so there's 2 premium type passes. So you get a 2-day pass or a 4-day pass, and the 4-day pass gives you a T-shirt as well. Yeah,
the 2-day pass we don't have anymore. Right as we started, I got rid of that right away because I didn't think it was a good idea. We have 2 4-day passes. We have a premium 4-day pass, which gets you a shirt, and then that's it. They get you the 4 days and then the access to the extra ball lounge. And we have a Friday night after party that the big packages get you into the after party, and where you can all the special guests and everybody in those premium packages can go into this after party. They actually buy $3,000 worth of food out of my own pocket, and I pay for food for all those people. So wow. That's I do that, and then with the LE package, you get a lot of different cool stuff like you get the screen printed poster, you get a beer a limited edition beer glass, you get a keychain, you get the 24-hour access, you get the T-shirt. And,
you get some limited edition new in-box perfume as well to make sure that you don't stink up the entire place.
The hygiene is important. This year I brought in a couple of bathroom attendants to watch. So make sure people are washing their hands. They're going to be standing in there.
It's awesome.
Last year we had the bathroom just gets destroyed. People water all over the floor, water all over the sinks. So I had to bring in people to keep up with the bathrooms. That was one of the big complaints. So hey, I guess I fixed it.
Every year you learn, year by year. So something else happens, you have to patch it up and keep on moving on. As you say, you have to get better and not worse. So. That's awesome. Gabe, the website to buy the tickets and get all the information is pintasticnewengland.com. Your website is amazing. I'm actually blown away by that whole QR system because it sounds so simple. But when I was at Texas and there was a broken machine, half the games have numbers on them, half the games didn't. If they did, I would text the guy. And just hope I guess it would get fixed. But yeah,
all our game tickets are pre-printed. They're pre-printed, and then if the games changes, they come in. we have a printer right at the registration desk, so that you get a new ticket printed with your QR code and all your information on there. And then when the game sells, you flip it over and you fill out all the information in the game, so that people's games just can't leave. So,
Awesome,
yeah, it's a very high-tech system.
Well, we look forward to talking about your events, I guess, next week. It would be run and done. So we thank you very much for coming on your show. And maybe one day either me or Marty will make it down there while Pintastic is on, or we'll have our own Pintastic Australian edition happening.
Yeah, we'd love to have you guys. We'd love to have you guys.
Well, if we're going to license anything, we'll just license like that QR, like that's like done.
Yep.
We'll take that one.
Thank you very much. Put add to cart.
You guys have free admission, okay? No problem.
Oh,
get you in there.
That VIP.
Awesome.
VIP.
Love it.
VIP.
Awesome, man. We'll let you get back to it.
All right, it's great talking to you guys.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for having me on.
Cheers.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
So there we go. That was Gabe, who is bringing Pintastic to the world. Ryan, what did we learn?
The QR code thing was the coolest thing that he said. I know it's a bit nerdy, but I can just imagine Ron Heller, because I believe he's going there, just nerding out, and just because he likes to pick on the machines that aren't working. I can just imagine him this weekend just scanning to see if he can win some kind of medal for the most broken pinball machines he can find. And did you listen to the latest Slam Tilt podcast, Marty? Did you see he was having some jabs at you, Marty? Trying to get into the trash talker.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Oh no! Okay, let me be the bearer of bad news. He was upset that you don't like Demolition Man, so much so that he said the moisturizer from your face must be seeping into your skull for you not to like Demolition Man.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
It made me laugh. Only because I'm on Team Demo Man, so I'm on Ron's side on this one. But as a podcast partner, you have to,
fair call.
Yeah, fair call.
Fair call. I look 10 years younger than him. I'm happy about that.
Ooh, shots fired. The trash talker is heating up. If they get invited.
Yeah, they will get invited.
Okay. So we want to kind of start off, I guess, with the contest that we were talking about. So next week is a very special week. We will hit 50 episodes, which is a nice round number, half a century.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nearly a year that we've been doing this. I just, it's crazy when you think that we're going to do 50 episodes.
Yeah, we had no intentions of kind of saying, let's do it for a year and find out, or let's do it for 5 years. We just said, let's just do it and see where it takes us. So
see what happens.
We're still doing it. Yeah, we're still having heaps of fun. We're just kind of getting started, we feel. So what we want to do is we want to give away a really big prize, and it is a entire side decal of the dialed-in pinball machine, and it is signed by Jersey Jack. So you can kind of people hang up playfields on their wall. It costs over $1,000 usually Australian to get one. This is the side decals, and dialed in is a beautiful looking machine, especially the side art. So we're going to make this really easy for everyone. All you need to do is email us and let us know your favorite moment, or it can be your favorite episode from the last 49 weeks. So our email is head2headpinball@gmail.com, head2headpinball@gmail.com. We will be able to send this to anyone in Australia or anyone in the US. If you're in Pinburg,
yet another thing I've got to put in my luggage.
It's pretty. It wraps up pretty small, Marty.
Okay.
And all the other winners have been in Melbourne, so not rigged. We will, I guess, we'll put everyone on a spreadsheet and we'll just generate a random number. So, this is the contest that people want. This is a no skill contest. Okay, I know the bar has been set super high by a bunch of talented people in some of the previous contests, and people were like, "Come on, how about me? I'll listen to your show. I'm not talented." If you can write an email, you're in with the chance to win this thing.
That's all the talent you need is to be able to send an email. So.
And some people can't do that because some people will write head, T-O, head. It's the number 2, like the one that's next to number 1 and 3, like in between that one on your keypad.
Yep.
Head, the number 2, head, pinball@gmail.com.
Just send us whatever you like.
You could almost write garbage. It doesn't matter, but it might be nice to warm our hearts and, talk about us making you laugh in some fashion. We did enjoy reading the comments about Sylvester Stallone coming on our show, and
yes.
it was great for him to do that, Marty.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really good that he came on.
Yes.
Shall we get to some news?
Iron Maiden, Marty. They're in Australia. Well, they've been in Australia for a while in Queensland. Those guys are lucky. Down here in Melbourne, we had to wait for the shipment of pros. There are 2 of them on site in Melbourne.
Yes.
Marty, have you played it?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Ryan, have you played it?
I got in trouble playing it, Marty.
How come you got in trouble for playing it? How would that? I don't know how that would happen.
I've been working a lot this week, as I've been telling you, Marty, and I'm all about life balance at the moment. So if I work hard, I wanna play hard, and
you've got no excuse.
I got a taste of I had a taste of Iron Maiden like a couple of days previous, and it was Friday night, I think it was. It was 11 o'clock at night. I finished up work. I wanted to go to sleep, but I was like, no, I'm going to go play some Iron Maiden. And I kind of snuck out the house, played Iron Maiden for 2 hours, came back home, and in the morning my wife was like, where the fuck were you last night? And so it was an awkward conversation. So big F you to Keith Elwin for making a very addictive game. But I'll get to my thoughts after yours, Marty. Which one did you play?
So I played the Pro at Pixel Alley. And again, I was sort of on the way home, so I just wanted to have a quick game, and I literally only played it once. One game, and that was it.
I didn't see your name on the high score list, Marty.
No, because there was a lot of people there as well that were hanging around, so whatever score I did get up would have been beaten anyway. All I wanted to do, I was just hanging, right? I've got one coming. I just wanted to see it in the flesh, play it, and that's all. I didn't need to sit there for 4 or 5 hours playing it. I just wanted to have a flip and see if it shot well.
And did it shoot well, Marty?
Yeah, fucking hell. I tell you what's the most satisfying thing is that upper loop shot from the right flipper. And when you can nail that a couple of times, it's as satisfying, if not more. It's as satisfying as the warp ramp shot on Star Trek when you can do that over and over again. It feels good.
But it's cleaner because the ball's not dropping down.
That's right.
So it's like exactly where the ball is meant to be.
Correct.
So I stepped up to the game at Pete's house, right? So he did. He invited me over after I saw a picture on Facebook and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And he invited me over to your house immediately to play this game. And I jumped over there, walked up to the machine, and I knew about the top loop, so I fully plunged and I hit that like 4 times in a row, like on my first game, and my eyes just kind of lit up, and like it's just like the best feeling in pinball for a machine to be instantly likable. I couldn't repeat that in my next like 30 games, but it's just a fun game. And the sounds, Marty. Now, I played that one that you're talking about at Pixel Alley.
You can't hear
the
it.
volume is turned down to it's like 1. You can hear them playing their 90s Eurotrash music on the big speaker. I had to listen to is it Culture Club? Calling Mr. Vader, calling Mr. Wrong,
Culture Beat.
Call him insane. It's Culture Beat. What did I say?
Culture Club.
Culture Club.
Very different.
No, not that. Okay, very different. Culture something. Yeah, the call-outs are the best call-outs ever as a package. I'm not saying the best individual call-out ever, like the super jackpot on Lord of the Rings or something, but as a package, like that guy, if you disagree with me, email me and tell me who has recorded a better sound package than this guy and implemented by Jerry and the team. I was in a mode and I hit something, like I don't even know how to extend time, but I extended the time and he's like, time extended, ha ha ha. And I just was like, oh my God, I'm a hero. Like I extended the time. And I know I'm a hypocrite because I say like, like in Ghostbusters when they do the triple super jackpot, I'm like upset because it's like not a big score, but it's a really good call out. I don't know. I'm a hypocrite because the time he sent it is not like that exciting, but he makes me excited because the call out is so good.
Yeah, look, and it was obviously the one thing that I left feeling that I'd missed was any of the sounds. Like you couldn't even really hear the song that was playing. So I just got to have a visual experience. And visually it's fantastic. Like it is. The light show is amazing, and it's not just it's a good light show, like a good pattern of lights. It responds well to what you're doing in the machine. You're getting that visual feedback, and I'm assuming you're also getting an oral feedback as well.
Yeah, I mean, with you missing the sounds, there are a lot of sounds in the pinball machine, and this is like my only thing that I guess I have to get used to. Every other pinball machine, like when you're playing AC/DC and you're playing Thunderstruck, like you can really hear Thunderstruck, and when you do the thing in the mode, the Thunderstruck target, it's like you hear the Thunderstruck bit even more, and TNT, you hear the oi even more. And every other pinball machine, Metallica, like the modes have absolutely nothing to do with the music, but you can still hear the music you're playing. There are so many sounds in Iron Maiden. I feel like the center stage is taken by the sound effects, and the music takes a little bit of a backseat. Maybe it's just my ears. Maybe it was like the subwoofer. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of sounds, and the music is kind of in the background. Okay. I guess I just have to play it more to see if. I mean, you can adjust those settings anyway in the.
Yeah, of course. So what do you think? So what you've played, do you reckon they're onto a winner?
Code-wise, I have no idea. I mean, I don't think it's a. I haven't heard much feedback about the code sucking. But I need to play like 100, 200 games for me to enjoy the code. I'm just in love with the way it shoots and the sound. I mean that's 2 out of the 3 boxes that I need: the sound, the way it shoots, and the rules. So rules, the jury's out until I play it more. There is a big difference, right? Like that machine at Pixel Alley was not playing anywhere near as good as the machine set up in the home use only environment, even to do with the shooter rod spring. I feel like it's the wrong spring in there. Like when you fully plunge, I'm pretty sure it's meant to go all the way around, and this is like barely making it halfway up the loop, and it's not set up steep either.
Okay, well I think that they may have adjusted that, because when I went in there and played it, it did do that. Full plunge.
I went all the way around. Yeah. Okay.
So maybe it's been.
Well, why would they adjust it to make it? Yeah, I don't know. It did play pretty long in the home use only environment, but at Pixel Alley it was a little bit shorter. So I guess like any machine, you can tweak it to. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good pinball machine for, as Keith Allen said, like the theme lends itself to pinball.
Yeah.
As opposed to, say, the Beatles, which is a rumored theme, and we'll also touch on that a little bit later. But I had so much fun playing Iron Maiden. I just kind of thought Beatles is like the band is huge, and they were the best band ever for that era, and whatever. How do you play pinball to the Beatles compared to playing it with Iron Maiden? Like Iron Maiden's this high energy kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's Rolling Stones as well, right? They just have music that's in the background. Forget about what I think about the machine itself, but it is similar in that it is that sort of rock from the 60s and 70s, and it's background music, and visually they've got Rolling Stones. So maybe that's kind of what they're going to do with Beatles. I don't know, but again, with Iron Maiden, because it is that high energy music, you're just lucky to have that as your backdrop soundtrack. Yeah.
As I said, we'll be talking about it plenty more when you get your machine. I'm sure there'll be like a 10-minute segment on Iron Maiden every week. I guess one thing that I wanted to note is it doesn't feel intense like The Walking Dead, but Walking Dead had that one more game feel because it's intense and it kicks your ass. this had a one more game feel because it was fun.
Yes.
Like it was nothing to do with the game kicking your ass or anything. It was just like, I want to see more of the game because that was really fun. I just want to see how many loops I can shoot in a row.
Yep.
You know, I could just do that. The pinball machine could just be that loop thing.
Yep.
And
you'd
with
be
the
happy
sound
with that.
effects and the visuals.
So,
Yeah, just let me do loops. That's why I like Demo Man. I don't like any of the software in Demo Man. I just want to hit the shots.
So here's another thing that I want to sort of as my first impression of this game. So, you know, when you put your money in and you hit start on a brand new Stern machine, the first thing that I've experienced probably the last 5 or 6 Stern machines is that very, very familiar Stern feeling that you get. It's Stern. You know it's Stern just by how it feels and how the shots are. What I liked about this is that there was that familiarity, but it wasn't so apparent. Like there is something that's different about it, and I think it is the layout where everything is, it feels different to a standard Stern.
Okay.
What do you think?
I feel like the flippers, I feel like there's the flipper feel on a Stern machine is the same across all their games. Like is in like, you know, when you trap up a ball and then you let go and you hit it, it's the same on every Stern machine versus like TNA. I struggled with that because the flipper power was kind of different when you do different moves. I feel like the flipper strength had been dialed back though, because they don't want the ball flying out of control, up that center shot. They want you to hit that kind of that bullseye target in the middle. So that shot for me was a lot harder than I thought. I know that sounds stupid because it's the easiest shot in the game, but you really have to hit it properly. You can't backhand it willy-nilly off the right flipper. You have to backhand, hit it off the left to be a more powerful shot.
Yep.
Anyway.
But I also think that another thing is that when you come up to recent Sterns, you go, okay, I've got a bash toy and I've got ramps and I've got orbits, and, you know, they're your regular shots. With this, and maybe it is code, it never felt like all you were doing was the same shots over and over. You just had to pick different shots and go for different things at any one time. And, you know, this is what Keith was saying, that he wanted it to be a highly situational game. And I think that's really come through.
Yeah. I mean, I grabbed Game of Thrones off you this week, and I was just kind of looking at it, and I was like, man, there really isn't much on this pinball machine. But then I kind of thought back to Iron Maiden, and I'm like, well, there isn't like an insane amount more on that, you know, besides the 2 upper flippers. If you kind of overlay it, you know, I'm not talking about bill of materials or anything like that. I'm more talking about kind of, what you can see above the playfield. But it doesn't feel empty. It doesn't feel like you're missing out on anything. And I'm not sure if that's the artwork being, more congested than the Game of Thrones artwork, or if it's the experience where it's just fun. You got the sounds, you got everything. Whereas for me, Game of Thrones doesn't hit me on any of those levels. So
yeah, fair enough.
I don't know. I don't need big mechs slowing down the ball. If you have a pro, like you've got a winner. I mean, people argue all day about Metallica, like, you got a pro and it's cool, but you don't have the spinners. And you can put the spinners on using Time Bandit's little mod, but the pro kind of has everything except for, you know, sarcophagus lock and the lock underneath the captive ball and that kind of stuff. But I think regardless of which model you get,
yep,
you're going to do well.
You're getting a good machine. There you go.
Moving on to
Dutch Pinball.
Dutch Pinball. So they need money.
Wow. They need money, and I don't even know where to fucking start with this. They need more money, and
a GoFundMe. Let's do it. Let's do a GoFundMe, right? If anyone deserves money, right?
So this is right. This is the problem that I've got. Is you've already put a lot of money into this. You haven't got machines. It is the fault of these people. It is. Nobody else is to blame. You can talk about the contract manufacturer and all that kind of stuff, but it's ultimately the people that set up this company, promised you your machines, and they are the ones that need to ensure that you're getting your machines. You are not getting your machines, They are being sued by the contract manufacturer. Everything is put on hold until they can settle that lawsuit. Then they have to work out their new contract manufacturer. And in the meantime, they want more money. I'm saying fuck me. How about you?
I thought you were going to say fuck off, Marty. Why would I be fucking you?
Well, again.
God.
I just despair at this. And I'm not even just despairing at the stuff that you can buy on their specials page.
It's a pretty good price. You can buy a Translite, Marty, for 210 Australian dollars, 135 euro plus shipping for a fucking Translite. Jesus Christ! What else? You can buy an apron, Marty. You know, like it's a prototype apron, right? So it could be fucked, and it might not it fit in a pinball machine. 500 euro, which equates to, right, for everyone in the US, $576 US, or if you're in Australia, 775 Australian dollars for an apron with a couple of stars in it. I hope nobody buys this shit. I know, like, there's collectors out there. Whatever. If you want to buy this stuff to be a collector or to support them, then whatever. But
also, they've got a Big Lebowski Pinball Engineering Sample 4 going for €15,000, which in Australian dollars is $23,500, or nearly $17,500 US.
Now, Dutch Pinball aren't known for telling the truth. Hey, I just noticed there's hexagons in the background of their website. Just putting that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Christopher Franchi.
Yep.
So they got caught out in a lie, not once, but twice, I believe. I mean, once was when they said, oh, hey, there's a bit of a delay because of computer issues, we're sorting it out. No, that was when they were arguing with ARA. And the second lie, I guess, the second big lie, I'm sure there's been a million of them, is saying that they tried to increase the price, and ARA of saying, no, we didn't. They just didn't pay us. So why would you bid on this thing? This is not on eBay. This is on their website. And it says here, if you want to order one or more of the items, please email us at shop@dutchpinball.com. So do you think there's really someone that's bidding on this, or do you think they're just pumping up the price and then some rich collector slots in somewhere and says, okay, I'll do the final bid of this?
Oh.
There's no end date. It just says current highest bid.
Yep. So, and that's why I'm saying, like, they want more money. Just, you know, you want a T-shirt? Fucking get a T-shirt. You want, what else have they got? A Big Lebowski Pinball Dude's car. You know, there's going to be some people that are going to go, oh, fuck yeah, that's really cool. I'm going to buy one of those for, you know, 200 Australian dollars or whatever it is. I think it's just buying into, you know, people's desires. You know, they want this stuff, and, you know, we want to help them out. But dudes, if you've given them all this money so far and you haven't got a pinball machine, and we still don't know if you are ever going to get a pinball machine, why would you sink more money into this?
Pinball plastics has to be the most overpriced thing in the hobby. Like, if you look at those plastics, €175, like it would literally cost them. I mean, I know there's like intellectual property and stuff like that, like $5 or something to make them. Yeah. Anyway, maybe they'll just sell a whole bunch of plastic sets and then they'll win the case and everyone will get their machine. So Marty, they got a brighter pinball playfield there as well.
Yes,
I never noticed. Because I've never seen a bare playfield. I've only seen the you know, populated machine. I never knew that was like it was her body on the playfield. That's pretty good theme integration.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a rocket
going up her. Yep. Have you not noticed that before?
There's a rocket blasting into her vagina.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
How can I play the game again knowing that there's a rocket blasting up in her vagina right in during the flipper gap?
Wasn't this Python Angelo?
No idea.
Well.
So the big wheel is her womb, sure. And she has like 4 hearts, yep. And she's got like circular titties,
yep.
And then she's got the ball goes in her mouth.
I couldn't believe that you didn't know this. Yeah. Well, it's been well documented, particularly the thing going in between her legs. So, There's
Okay.
that. So here we go. Anyway, so there is the email that went out, and I'll just kind of read out some of it. It says, you'll understand that this situation is extremely frustrating, not only for you, but also for our distributors and also for us. We are now awaiting the lawsuit with our former contract manufacturer to get you and us compensated. You know, you get that language? You know, come on, guys, we're in this together. You're going to get your money. And so there's the next thing called the Seattle 7. So, but like the dude and his friends, we won't give up, and we're not alone. There's a group of pinheads who call themselves the Seattle 7. They contacted us because they want to start a GoFundMe campaign to help us with funds for our attorneys and to start the production with our new contract manufacturer, Zytec. We are very, very grateful for this initiative. As soon as there's more info about this campaign, we will inform you as well. In the meantime, we are
Where the fuck is everyone's money? Like, if they want a fund to fund their lawyers, as they say in the movie, where the fuck's the money, Lebowski? Like, they took all that money and they've burned through it all, and they got nothing. Like, they're never going to dig themselves out of this hole, ever.
Yep. But in the meantime, we're working on a solution with Zytec on how to set up production pending the lawsuit. So it's almost like that pending the lawsuit, just like a little tiny font. Pending this big fucking lawsuit. Come on. And it says, because we receive a lot of emails from people who want to buy parts, plastic decals, etc., we've decided to set up a temporary shop. Please check out the website for more information. You'll also find t-shirts, the official Dutch Pinball decals of the Brighter Pinball 2.0, plus opportunity to place your bid on one of the engineering samples. Oh my god, mate.
We should get them on the 50th show. They can be the grand guests because they just got so much integrity and, you know, have just handled the situation really well.
You know,
no, let's not do that.
You know, and look, maybe I am coming across a bit harsh this week about Dutch Pinball. Maybe that is the truth. But guys, you have lied. You've bent the truth. Maybe, in your words, you want to sort of tone it down a bit. And now you're asking for more. Just get people these machines. Just fucking sort this shit out. Get people their machines, because you are just tainting this whole hobby. There you go. I've said it.
Start a GoFundMe and ask your friends and family. Like, stop asking the fucking pinball community to bail you out of your mess. That's what I wanted to say. Like use some of your own money. You know, I don't see them selling their houses, living on the street. Like they wasted everyone's money, and they just we picked up all these scraps off the floor. You know, we're going to print a whole bunch of these, you know, play fields, and instead of giving a machine to a customer, we're gonna sell off an engineering sample for 23,000 Australian dollars. Anyway, they're idiots. Let's move on. I'm done with Dutch. It's hard to go to the next one after this. JJP. They released a flowchart
of the rules.
Great company. Yep. I had a quick look at it. It looks like 5 pinball machines in one. Like the 5 rules don't kind of like flow into each other, the 5 movies. So you really got like 5 separate pinball machines in one. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. And that's how complicated they want these machines. Yeah, I like the look of it. I like that the flow, you can sort of look at it and read it and go, yep, I now know what I need to do. At a very high level, there it is. Yeah.
But where's the pinball machine, mate?
But we need the pinball machine.
I really want to play it.
Yeah,
yes.
Same.
Come on, guys.
Yep, you can do this.
Same.
Yep.
You know who's kicking goals and just
delivering
making
machines
everyone
all over the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Deep Root.
Are they?
Deep fuck. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yep.
They released some exclusive information on This Week in Pinball. Jeff is like their news source. They basically just like, hey Jeff, this is not a real conversation, by the way. This is just how I imagine it. Right? Hey Jeff, we fucked up and we painted a really bad picture of our company. Like we need to like release news through you because you're like you're trusted in the community. So put the feelers out there. Allison, we see Supreme Pinball machines selling for crazy amounts on eBay. I want a piece of that pie. How, Jersey Jack tested the market a couple of years ago by releasing like a $6,000 pinball machine, even though they were losing money on it, right? It went even higher. Now we're at like 9,000 something, right, for an LA pinball machine. How far can we go? Put the news out there and let's see what the reaction is. Alice in Wonderland, there will be a variation of the pinball machine from us for 50 grand.
Yeah.
Let's see if people will take it.
I would absolutely buy that sight unseen.
So this was originally planned by John Poppaduke. Alice in Wonderland, a huge...
This isn't serious, Ryan. It's not serious.
But, hey,
it's not serious.
If
Ryan,
there's
it's not serious.
No,
it's not serious.
No, yes,
no,
it
it's
is.
not.
Yes, it is.
Nope, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Nope.
Yes,
absolutely
yes.
not. It can't be. Like what's going to be in a pinball machine for $50,000 that's worthy of that price?
Exclusivity.
Oh.
What's in a stupid fucking handbag that costs like 10 grand? A logo of a company that says I'm better than you and you can't afford this shit. That's all it is. Okay, so I reckon this is serious. Even if he's joking, it's serious because if there's a market for it, he'll make like 10. Like here's Alice in Wonderland for 7 grand or 10 grand or whatever it is. Okay. And then there's this version, then there's that version. And then there's the ultra platinum $50,000 edition. There's only 10 of them. Send in your fucking videotape and it's going to be gold plated disc.
It's going to be,
yeah.
Oh. No, I was going to stop what I was going to say.
Hey, when you're doing 50, if it's the same pinball machine, it's just dressed up differently. I mean, Josh Kugler talked about it. I mean, they don't want to do limited editions like Stern does, where the machine is different, but they want to, they wouldn't say no to making like a dressed up version and calling it a limited edition because it's the same thing. They just need to finish the machine differently.
Okay.
Alice in Wonderland, Marty, are you a fan?
Yeah, very much so.
Not really. You're not really a fan.
Yeah.
Which version? Like the Disney movie or just the story in general?
So what I saw, and I've seen very little information, but isn't there like someone has actually done like a very sort of dark, sort of cartoon version of it?
Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Our good mate Zombie Yeti.
Yep. So that's kind of what I like. What I saw there is that taking it to a dark place. It's almost a Tim Burton type version of Alice in Wonderland without the all the colour and all that kind of stuff. Kind of dark. I like what they've done with that. So I don't know.
Okay.
$50,000.
I'm the opposite. This is my chance to bring in that story from the other day. So I went to an Alice in Wonderland like art. What do you call them, Marty? I mean, I told you about it, like an art walkthrough kind of thing.
Sure.
At the art center. I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, when I think Alice in Wonderland, I think of the Disney movie from my childhood. So I just thought I was going to walk in there and it was going to be like walking through that movie. But I then remembered as soon as I walked in there that Alice in Wonderland as a story, and this is why it's kind of like not licensed, has been around forever, like over 100 years, right? Which is why you're allowed to kind of make a variation of it, kind of like Houdini. I don't like any of it besides the Disney movie. It's really fucking twisted, and it's I don't like twisted weird stuff. Okay, my favorite pinball artist is Christopher Franchi because I like sunshine and rainbows. Okay, and
hexagons.
I don't like and hexagons. I don't like ugly shit. I don't like. I can appreciate the artwork on something like Iron Maiden. Okay, I know it looks good, but I don't like looking at weird guys with like afro. Like Eddie is the most like disgusting looking thing to
I
me.
love that
Like
stuff.
I would never.
Yep.
I hate it. I'm the opposite. They said, give me like a Batman, like with 10 times less lines and details, just with like colors spewing out of it. That's what I want to look at.
No, I like it when artists take regular things and turn them into a darker version of them. I like that stuff.
Why? Why do so many people? That's why I never listened to like heavy metal when I was a kid.
Yeah. That's just part of the,
Anyway,
that's part of the
getting
appeal.
off track.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So Alice in Wonderland is weird as fuck. Okay, like if you think that and they're not making a pinball machine. If they do make a pinball machine based off Disney movie, because that still is copyrighted. So That's what I would like it based off. I really hope like Stern or someone just does the same thing. They're probably not, because no one's ever going to double up. But yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. The Mad Hatter. He's really fucking. You know why he's a Mad Hatter, right? Because there's lead in the hat, and he's gone fucking crazy.
Yeah, of course.
But
he's nuts. He's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. In the Disney movie, it's funny, but like if you actually take it in a literal sense, it's actually quite scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
are we done?
Well, yeah. Where's Monster Bash, Marty?
Where is Monster Bash? Surely it's going to be here any second now. We are within the next 48 hours. Surely I said that last week and the week before. I feel like as soon as I said that, I'm like, didn't I make that joke a couple of weeks ago? Surely in the next 48 hours we're going to have the reveal.
We reviewed it way too early. Well, I think Gabe said in the interview, I'm not sure if you remembered, that it might be like 2 or 3 weeks away. He kind of missed the boat on that one. So I guess that's roughly when it'll be announced. But we thought it was time to possibly talk, because we haven't talked about it for a while, what we think the rest of the pinball landscape will be in terms of manufacturer releases for the rest of the year.
For sure.
Because things change all the time. We could be absolutely completely wrong, but let's just do it anyway, right?
Yeah. Let's just spray everywhere and hope that something hits you in the eye.
Oh God, no. Stern Pinball. Let's start with Stern. Right, so they've released some stuff this year.
Yeah,
Iron Maiden. I mean, it still has come here, but I mean, it's been out and announced for a while, like months. So I think we're almost due for their next pinball machine, Marty.
And so what we know, the only thing that they sort of on record have said is coming out is Elvira 3, right? Which they didn't really want to, but they did. It's now out there. We don't know. It's probably one of the ones that we don't really know when it's coming out, do we?
Sometime next year, I think.
So. So you've got a choice of now of the. I'm just going to put out these names, and you tell me, Ryan, what you think is going to be the next Stern title. Is it going to be Deadpool, Munsters, Beatles, Black Knight 3000, Superman, or Beetlejuice?
I think we know it's going to. Well, we think we know it's going to be Deadpool. I guess they missed their marketing hype window with the second movie, but I guess maybe they plan for it to come out when the DVD comes out. If they plan to release a machine at Expo, the window for them to release the next machine has to be somewhere around now, right? Like in the next couple of weeks. It makes sense, right? If you kind of have a timeline of when Iron Maiden was released and Expo as the other one, somewhere in the middle is I think around now or a couple of weeks from now. So I think we'll be seeing that soon. What we think we know about that is it is by George Gomez. He did a redesign. Zombie Yeti Art, Jerry Thompson Audio, and Tanyo Kleiser's first pinball machine as a lead developer. That's what we've heard as rumors. It's a new team. It's exciting. What's Tanyo Kleiss like as a coder?
We're going to find out.
I don't know. He's done work on pinball. Yeah, we're going to find out. It's going to be exciting.
Yep. What do you think?
For the rest of the year for Stern?
Yeah, so what do you think about the Munsters? Like, did you watch the Munsters at all?
Nothing.
No? Nothing?
No, I only heard about them like a year ago.
Right.
It means as much to me as Thunderbirds.
So when I grew up, the Addams Family and the Munsters were equally popular. As equally popular. I actually liked the Munsters better because I preferred the silly humour. What the Addams Family has that the Munsters doesn't is a movie remake that absolutely refreshed the license.
Yeah, Munsters has pretty much nothing. Well, I'm not sure. I haven't done research, but I'm not sure if we've had this conversation before, but when I did some research about the difference between the Munsters and Addams Family, because they seem very similar,
yes, is
the Munsters are actually monsters, and Addams Family are human beings that like to be monster-like, and that's the main difference.
Sure.
Yeah, so we think Monsters might be the title that is released at Pinball Expo 2018. And that will probably wrap up Stern for the rest of the year. Joe Kamikow said in his Twitch interview with Neil McRae that I think the other Kapow title, which is rumored to be Beatles, will be sometime next year. So there was an initial rumor that they were both going to be released at the same time at Expo, which we talked about making absolutely no sense at all. So I guess that's some confirmation that someone like Joe, who's calling the shots with his licenses, they're going to be separate.
Yep. So there you go. So Jersey Jack. So we've obviously Pirates of the Caribbean's going to come out any second now, as manufacturing. They're obviously not going to release any other machines this year, but will they announce another title this year, do you think?
I think this is one that you know the answer to, Marty, and I'm not sure if you're going to give us the answer. Are they, Marty? I actually don't know. In theoretical sense, as a marketing standpoint, it would make no sense to do so, but I guess that really depends on how well Pirates of the Caribbean is selling. I mean...
Yeah. I actually don't know. I agree with you in that I don't think it would make sense for them to make any announcement until they see how many pirates they're going to be able to ship.
It's weird because Dialed In stands up against every kind of release that's been announced since Dialed In has come out. But ever since they announced Pirates of the Caribbean, the focus shifts to that, and then everyone's kind of comparing it to that, like, I would rather an Iron Maiden than a Pirates because you can't get Pirates now and it's a wide body and this and that. People could have been making those comparisons to Dialed In, and I think that would have made more sales for Dialed In because Dialed In is a very good game. It's rated highly on the Pinside Top 100, and collectors like it, and the casuals like it, tournament players like it. But the conversation isn't about Dialed In anymore. It's about a machine that people can't buy.
Mm.
So it's a pity. We'll see what happens at Expo because in the last, I guess, 2 years. So this would be the third year running if they do it again. We'll probably find out closer to the date. But I hope if they do announce something that it's kind of close to being ready to go, and then people have the option. Hey, do you want a Willy Wonka or a Pirates, and they can just kind of run all the lines together, kind of thing.
So that's what we reckon the one after Pirates is? It's going to be Willy Wonka, not Toy Story?
That's the rumor that people are going with. I don't have any information directly from any source. That's just what people are saying. Yeah,
fair enough. And Chicago Gaming, obviously, the reason why we're onto this topic is because, Monster Bash needs to come out. What else do you think they could make?
Yeah, well, nothing would be announced this year anyway. And I guess that's what the theme of what we're doing. We want to go through, we know what they're planning in the future. But it's funny because the longer it takes for Monster Bash to be announced, the longer people say, I reckon they've switched to the next game. It's got to be Cactus Canyon continued and they'll just release Monster Bash whenever. Who knows? These machines are already out, so I don't care too much about them.
Yeah.
Dutch Pinball, they're doing absolutely nothing. Spooky Pinball, Alice Cooper started production, I believe, this week or in the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
So, as is tradition with them, I think they start off really slow just to make sure they get everything right with training everyone that's making them. They're going to be busy for ages, like a year and a half or something, making Alice Coopers and TNAs. So their next game doesn't need to be announced. It won't be announced at TBA.
No,
it won't be announced
they're busy.
for ages.
They
don't need to.
They're busy making and delivering games.
Yeah.
Yep.
So people will continue to be happy with their games and
yeah. And so we did hear that Scott Danesi has started working on a second game. Whatever that is.
Yep. They didn't need to announce that, but I don't think anyone's going to say, "Oh, I'm not going to buy this, this, and that because I want his to save my money for his second game." Nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows if it's a licensed thing or unlicensed. Nobody knows how many ramps it's going to have. It said it'd be something they announce possibly 2 years from now when it's ready to go because they're busy. They don't need to do anything for a while. Deep Root, they're doing nothing this year except just trying to test the market to see what they can get away with. They're not releasing anything until March next year. The Pinball Bros, they're this is the offshoot from the collapse of Highway Pinball. I don't see them doing anything this year, Marty. What do you think?
No, I think they've got to set themselves up as a proper company and do everything from scratch. So I think we're 2 years away from something from them, I think.
American Pinball, we discussed with Josh last week if they would announce their game number 2 at Expo, and he said if they're ready, they will. If they're not ready, they won't. If I was them, I probably wouldn't do it anyway, since there's already going to be a kind of a confirmed release from Stern, unless you're, I don't know, when you release 2 pinball machines at once, like when Dialed In and Batman got released at the same time. I don't know. There was so much back and forth about those 2 machines. This camp saying, Batman's amazing, and Dialed In, like, what is his theme? And then there's other camps saying, at least you can play Dialed In, and Batman was behind ropes. I don't know. I don't want that drama. I just want each machine to have its own little window
That's
for people
right.
to talk about.
No, exactly. I absolutely agreed. What else we got? Well, home pin. So Thunderbirds will ship this year.
Will it, Marty?
Well, I think so.
Apparently.
We did hear, I saw today that it's actually going to be at Replay FX, so I will get to play it, Ryan.
I look forward to your in-depth review. I hope the Trash Talker Invitational Selection Committee. Oh my gosh, I can't speak English.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck Webster. I hope you organise the final to be played on Thunderbirds. It has to be the entire competition is for fun. I want the final to be on Thunderbirds. Who can figure out what the hell these rules are? Okay. I don't think they're going to be announcing a new pinball machine at the end of the year. P3. They just kind of announced their new machine at Texas. I don't think there's anything planned for the rest of the year. I might be wrong.
No.
And to round it off, Circus Maximus, they're busy with Kingpin, and they had a pretty aggressive schedule that I can't even remember what it was, but I don't think they're going to be delivering any machines by the end of the year.
Yeah. So I think what we're really saying is you are probably going to see a maximum of 3, maybe 4 machines by the end of the year, if you like.
That's a lot in 6 months. One back a couple of years, it was just like whatever Stern gave you. And
I think
two machines here or something.
That's right, but I think two of those announcements will be Stern. They will announce one soon, and then they will announce one at the end of the year, and it may ship at the end of the year or early into 2019.
All right. If we haven't put everyone to sleep, let's go on to This Week in Pinball's top 10 limited edition pinball machines and argue about how the hell some of these things got on there from the pinball community.
I know, right? So
these are the people that we have to get us to convince them to vote for us in the Twippy, Marty. I don't like my chances.
No, I don't either. So from 10 to 1, so the number 10 machine that came in was the Walking Dead limited edition. What do you think, Ryan?
There is absolutely nothing special about that machine at all. This is my grading for. No, this is my grading for it. It has to be different than the one level down. Okay, so I'm going to compare it to the premium.
Sure.
All it has is a slightly different art package.
Yep.
It's still an amazing game, but as an LE,
okay,
it's not special at all.
Yep. Okay. Gotcha. Yep, I totally agree. So I was getting confused. So obviously over the Pro, you've got better lighting and you've got the crossbow, but you're right, you've got that in the premium, so it's not that special as a limited edition. Number 9, Iron Maiden. Yep.
The same
8.
thing as thing. Wait. Except they actually put a lot more effort into the limited edition.
Oh, true.
With the foil decals, and I haven't seen it in person, right?
But the updated sound as well.
Yeah. So that is more of a true limited edition than some of these other ones that are further higher up the list.
Yep.
So I would actually probably put that higher up. But
Wizard of Oz Ruby Red LE. It's red.
It's red. They forgot to powder coat the shooter knob. So that's silver. Compared to the green version we have.
When I went to pick up my Wizard of Oz, I had a choice of the Emerald City, which was at the time the Down Under limited edition, so the green one, the Emerald City edition, or the Ruby Red. And do you know why I picked the Emerald City? Because
it looks shit in red. It looks so much better in green.
I didn't mind the red. I didn't like the topper.
What's the top? Okay, the 75th anniversary, kind of everyone crowding together.
Didn't like the topper at all, and that's what made me buy the Emerald City.
Yeah, it's a nice machine. Pretty much every Jersey Jack machine is limited edition in their eyes. It has a lot of stuff on it. It has really a bunch more figurines and castle walls and stuff like that. I guess it probably deserves to be up there.
Yep. What about Metallica limited edition?
Now, I have this pinball machine, and I reckon it doesn't deserve to be there either, because it yes, it's called the Master of Puppets, and it has the album artwork on the side and this and that. It doesn't have anything special over the premium.
Nothing.
No, doesn't deserve to be there at all.
This is where you've got effectively the one thing that's different, and you've got a little plaque saying that it's limited edition.
Yeah.
That's
it. And every time I see the side art of the machine, it's one of the only machines that I can see the side art of because of where it is in my room. I think, and it triggers in my head every single time, that I have these massive circular kind of scratches because they've got the puppet strings hanging off like behind the crosses. Mm-hmm. My brain, every time I see it, thinks that someone's come through and scratched my pinball machine.
Right. Okay.
So I don't like. Yeah. Anyway.
AC/DC?
This shouldn't even be in the top 20.
Why?
In my opinion, because it's the loose. It has nothing. It just has the words AC/DC on the side and some custom cut armor. That's all it has.
Yep. Okay. Batman 66.
Yep. I think that's the playfield is the same.
Yep.
But you do have the signature and a special episode number with custom artwork for that episode. Adam West's signature there.
Sure.
I think it deserves to be somewhere there.
Okay. Dialed in. He's number 4.
No. Best game, but the limited edition doesn't have anything super special that the... Actually, sorry. No, it does. It does. It has the custom... The ramp lights. It has the Perspex lighted city in the back. Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, fair enough.
That's all right. Yeah. It's certainly more of a limited edition than AC/DC or Metallica is what we're saying.
Okay.
Attack from Mars Remake is number 3.
The giant screen, yep. Thumbs up for that. And the topper that everyone thinks is the best. I'm not a topper guy, Marty.
Sure.
It looks good, but I don't. I'm never ever going to buy a pinball machine for the topper.
Yeah,
ever.
I'm the same. I could take it or leave it. Although, admittedly, just a few minutes ago, I said that I bought a machine because of its topper. But if it was a choice between having a topper or no topper, I'm not bothered as long as the machine's good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Here we go. The only 2 pinball machines that are worth talking about on this giant turd of a list. Okay.
It really is. So number 2 is Tron Legacy Limited Edition. Absolutely. Couple of major things, obviously.
Because there's no premium. That's premium right. Doesn't exist. The premium is people that have pros that want to have limited editions that mod the shit out of their machines to make them as good as a limited edition.
That's right.
Now, admittedly, some of the mods on my machine are third-party mods. Like the arcade is absolutely mind-blowingly good, but it's the ramps. I love the ramps. It's got the 3D back glass, a whole bunch of stuff. Well, you can mod your Pro to be as good as an LE anyway. So
you're right. So the reason why this one really stands out is because there's no premium. Now, I was listening to the Eclectic Gamers podcast a couple of weeks ago, and when they had Zach on their show, and they made the interesting point when they were talking about the Star Trek Vault edition coming out, and they were saying, what if they do release a Tron Vault edition that everybody's been asking for, and what if they release a premium?
Yeah, you would think that they would, because the Pro is super duper bare bones. I mean, if they do release a Pro, then everyone's going to kind of mod it up anyway. But I mean, there's rumors that it's going to have an LCD, and it's going to be based off the old Tron. But I mean, this is just people kind of talking. I don't think we've got confirmation. VEs are the only real secret of CERN, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Everything else seems to get out except for VEs. No one knows what the hell's going on. No. I guess the team for those are a lot smaller.
Well, I think it's also because they've already got all the assets there, right? So all it's a business decision that says, right, we're reopening up this line. Everything that's there, there's no sort of 6 months behind closed door where secrets can get leaked. It literally is, okay, we've all come in, this is our monthly meeting, we've all decided that we're going to release as a Vault Edition. Zach, go and announce it now. Everybody, it's on the line. That's it. Like there's not like a lead up to it. They can just go, well, we've got everything there ready to go. We can just turn these on at any stage.
Well, they still need to order parts and stuff,
well,
mate. I don't think they have like a warehouse with...
No, of course they do.
I don't know.
But it's not like they have to
and just to reiterate,
design the parts. Like they know what's already there.
No. I said unless they're doing a true Vault edition with a whole bunch of kind of like things changed. And just to reiterate, like Metallica LE is special. But if there was no premium, that would be like, maybe number one, like, oh my gosh, there's a hammer that bangs the ball into the playfield and all this cool stuff. And the cross rises up. But it's on the premium. So no,
it didn't.
Anyway.
We saw this week on Gumtree it is Master of Puppets, isn't it? Limited edition for $17,000.
That doesn't mean that it's sold, Marty.
No, I know it doesn't mean that
it's
sold, but it means that somebody thinks that they can sell it for $17,000. Just crazy. Anyway, let's move on to the number one.
Yes, the real true LE, the Star Trek Limited Edition. Because what does it have, Marty, that the premium doesn't have?
Well, it's got the brushed metal back. It's got the illuminated insignias on the side. It's got one of the coolest effects in pinball, and that is the photon torpedoes that go up the outer side and inner side of the machine.
Yep. They really threw the kitchen sink at that in terms of making it special. Yeah, I guess we thought that they were on the right track with Iron Maiden LE with the kind of the effort they put into that, and that's why I think that kind of maybe should be further up the list, because it really has something special with the foil decals that isn't on the premium at all, and I think that's what limited editions should have.
Yeah. So where was Mustang?
Honorable mentions. Honorable mentions. Star Wars LE. Star Wars LE has nothing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. What does it have? It has all three translights. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got. It's got
this
the rails
list makes me
that
sad.
Right up.
This list, if it was a top 2 or top 3 list, I'd be like, oh man, this is really cool. But it's actually almost made me sad that like these machines should be, and I've got some of them, right? So I'm not being biased or anything. I've got, what have I got? I've got Metallica LE. That's it, I think. And Tron and Star Trek. I've got the top 2, but Metallica, yeah, I only have it because I bought it at a decent price, and yes, it's an LE, it holds its value more. That's the only reason why I like it.
I know. And look, I guess we're looking at this from a practical point of view that says, look at the feature list and tell you whether it's worth the extra money that you spent. If you want to put a dollar value on how special you feel by having one of these, Well, that's a very different story, and we don't begrudge you on that. Like having one of 250 or whatever it is, so be it. Where's Avatar in this? You get a Navi ball.
Navi.
And you get the coffin that rises. No. But even saying that, at least it has a mech that does something different. It's got some additional toys. It's got the coffin that opens.
Oh, wait a second.
And it's got a Navi ball.
There's no premium version either,
Correct.
Is there?
That's right.
Yeah, so that should be there.
That's right,
guys. How many people are voting for this? Come on, guys.
No.
Get your shit together.
I think it's the fact that everyone hates Avatar. It was never going to make this list.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway. So what else?
Is it time?
Is it time for Slam?
The top 100. So last week was Martin with Joker Poker SS, Solid State, versus me with Black Rose. Unfortunately, I had the better GIF, and I won with 55% of the vote.
So can I just ask this question? Who puts the GIFs up there? Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool.
Wait.
No.
I put the GIFs up, and I give you the option of changing yours if you want. I do your job for you, and I say, if you want to change it to a better GIF, if you can find a better
job is
GIF
editing.
That's poker.
That's all I'm doing. I'm editing. You can be the GIF bitch.
All right, so this is where we be honest, Marty. Which one would you rather play, Joker Poker or Black Rose?
Oh, Black Rose, any day. I actually quite like Black Rose, and it came out at the time when I was in my heyday of playing pinball, when I should have been working, and I played this machine a lot. There was something about it that I really liked.
The designer. No. So, yeah, I mean, if they were side by side right now, I would pick Joker Poker because I really had fun playing it when I did. But it's simply because I haven't really played Black Rose. Hey, Raymond Davison likes Black Rose, and he's the number one player in the world.
Yeah, he does.
Right? I should have used that as part of my argument.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this week. So I'm going to generate a number from 1 to 100. It corresponds to a machine on the Pinside Top 100. Me and Marty are going to argue for as long as we want on which one is better, and then we leave it up to you to tell us who won the vote. Please generate a number from 0 to 100.
Okay. 13.
Ah, yes. I'm so lucky.
Star Trek Next Generation.
Mm-hmm. Have we done this? No, we haven't.
Nope.
Please generate a number from 0 to 100.
Okay.
Give me 12.
10.
Oh!
Adam's Family. Adam's Family, one of my absolute favourite games.
Can I do the editing tonight where I can insert the clip where you talk about how shit Adam's Family is?
Didn't happen.
This is going to be hard.
Didn't happen.
Good on Google for putting two classic Williams machines together. Thanks, Googs.
Thanks, Googers. All right. You ready?
Wait, what the hell is Adam's Family doing at number 10? I thought Adam's Family was in the top 5. Oh, no, that's Attack from Mars I'm getting confused with.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, we don't need to look at the flyers for this one. Just wing it, Marty. Go for it.
Okay. This is Pat Lawler's masterpiece. It really is. This is what earned him the right to do whatever he wanted in the pinball world. We talked about it before tonight. Adam's Family was great because it had the movie that came out. This has got hands down, the best theme integration ever in a pinball machine. And I'm going to call out a couple of things. The thing hand that comes out the back. When I first saw that, I just went, wow, that is the most amazing thing that I've ever seen. The other thing that really stands out is the multi-ball start with the showtime and the lights and the sound and just it going absolutely crazy. That game makes you feel amazing. It's got a great rule set. It's got deep. It's got varied modes. It's got a very cool wizard mode as well. Oh, it's a freaking fantastic game. Love it. Adam's Family.
Do you need to do anything, Marty, to get into the wizard mode besides just start everything?
No, just start everything. Get all the modes done.
I just realized I can't fucking use that as a shitty thing because Star Trek Next Gen is exactly the same. Fuck. Okay. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Star Trek Next Generation, clearly the more superior Star Trek pinball machine that's out there on the market. You talk about theme integration, Marty. Do you have the entire cast of Addams Family doing call-outs? No, you don't. But on Star Trek, you have multiple people from the critically acclaimed, TV show that you love, Marty. You said on the first episode, you're a Trekkie, okay? So you love this pinball machine, right? You got the amazing warp ramp. You got a fast-shooting wide body. You have those ever-reliable cannons on the left slings that definitely don't block your outlanes and are just really fun to shoot in modes. You shoot the shot, it loads the other cannon, you shoot the other shot. It's almost like an AC/DC from 20 years ago. What else you got? You just got flow for days. You got the twirly ramp. You've got an amazing wizard mode that takes, I think, 7 shots to get into. You can literally just trap up and hit 7. It's accessible, okay? This machine makes you feel good. Great call-outs. Great pinball machine. I really wish I had 30 seconds. Your turn, Marty.
Okay. So let's talk about Star Trek Next Generation. First of all, the machine breaks down. Even Steve Ritchie was on record when someone said they've got a Star Trek, he goes, oh, and it's still working. It is just, particularly those cannons are known to break. Balls get stuck all over the place. Too ambitious. The cannons also do block the outlanes, and those slings are angled downwards, so you just feel unfair all the time. And not to mention that center shot to start modes, unless it's set up perfectly, it is a really difficult shot. And then once you start a mode, time out the mode to get into wizard mode. What a useless game.
Addams Family, the most popular pinball machine of all time, okay? That doesn't mean that it's good. It just means that people, we just saw with the top 10 alley list, people, they're not the smartest, okay? They like putting money into pinball machines. They see the little hand come out. They're amused by this little simple thing, okay? It's not a great pinball machine. It's it might be good in competitions, but it's boring. Marty's been on track. There is a drunk rant from Marty where he goes on for about 15 minutes about how Addams Family is the biggest piece of shit overrated pinball machine because it's just there's nothing good in it, okay? It's just popular for the sake of being popular. Like Twilight Zone, he hates both these pinball machines. If you vote for Addams Family, it's a vote for Marty lying through his teeth.
No, see,
I give you Star Trek Next Gen.
No, I love how you threw Twilight Zone in there because it was actually Twilight Zone that I had the rant about, not Addams Family.
I will find the rant, Marty. If you got me, no, you've probably deleted it, haven't you? All that Twitch stuff stays for like 1 week. Thing flips. Who gives a shit if things flips? The magnet's fucking going off. People, you know why people want it now? People want it because they had it when it was like a $3,000-$4,000 pinball machine, and now in Australia they're going for $10,000 because nostalgia. This is the one that I played as a kid. Blah 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 blah. That's why people want it. People want it because they're like, this is going to keep going up and up and up.
Yeah,
that's all people want.
But why are people buying that bloody Star Trek? It is just there's a great machine there if it worked. And if they just fixed up a couple of the shots as well, it can be really clunky if it's not set up right. Clunky.
Guys, Addams Family sold so well that it led to the demise of yours and my favorite pinball manufacturer of all time, Bally Williams. Okay, this is the machine that fucked them up because they kept on putting them on site, and it out-earned everything. Okay, because people are so dumb, it out-earned everything. So
I'm pretty sure that's not the reason why pinball stopped.
This is
pretty sure that was South Park.
It wasn't. It was about to say that it was, guys. It wasn't South Park. This is the reason. The machine is so popular. It's just South Park. It might be true. It probably did. Would you rather play, if you were a pinball noob, would you rather play Revenge from Mars, this weird looking thing, or South Park? It's South Park.
Yeah, it was one of those things. The Revenge from Mars is the better machine, but South Park just made me smile.
Okay.
So, there you go.
Let's Slam Top 100, Wednesday or Tuesday, depending on where you live. You will see that on our Facebook page. Follow us on Facebook. We're getting lots and lots of votes, which makes us happy. Close to 100 every single week. So keep your votes coming in.
Shall we do This Week in Pinball?
What did you get up to, buddy? Yes. Can we talk about Rosstown first really quickly? So last week, I told you guys I qualified like 14th or something, and 2 people had to drop out because Marty somehow got his way into this final thing, and 2 people had to drop out for me to make it. And I had my fingers crossed, and what happened? Jared Mendoza came back from overseas. He had to qualify. He didn't qualify, but he somehow like screwed with the results that I jumped up a place. So I was next in line. I somehow made it, but it was a tie between me and Tim Chapman. And there's no way I was going to go to qualify to lose and then go home and not make the finals. And another miracle happened. Somebody got into a car accident and needed surgery. Not a car accident during the week. I'm not like my jinxing and my finger crossing isn't that powerful. But they got into a car accident a couple of weeks ago and they needed surgery done on the tendons in their hand or something. So they can no longer play pinball. So through some miracle, I am in the finals that are going to be held this week, Marty.
Fantastic.
Me versus you versus
Awesome.
10 other people.
Grudge match.
Yeah. I somehow came second last year. I'm looking at the format, Marty. Last year, I didn't know what pinball tournaments were. So I just tell me where to play and I'll play. This year, I'm looking at the format. I'm like, man, it goes from 12 to 6 and then from 6 to 2. How the fuck did I get from 6 to 2 last year? That's not fair. 4 people get eliminated in that. That's harsh.
Right.
You got to win a three player match play series thing. Anyway,
Absolutely.
Houdini, Marty. What do you think about it besides the being tight?
So we got to stream Houdini on Wednesday night. You couldn't make it because you were really busy with work or playing Iron Maiden. Whatever happened.
Do I have to explain myself, Marty?
Nope, you don't. Iron Maiden wins every time.
No. It wasn't that. It was 5 hours it would have taken to drive there, play Houdini, and come back. And I had more work to do than I could give up with 5.
No.
And then I finished it about 4 hours in, and I looked at your stream, and you were like kind of like packing up. So I went to play Iron Maiden. Anyway.
Fair enough. I would too. So here we go. Got to play Houdini on the Melbourne Silverball League Twitch stream for a good 3 hours. And here's what I'm going to say about Houdini. Well, everyone said that the shots are tight, Ryan. Do you think that the shots are tight?
Do I think the shots are tight?
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are. They are tight, but the more you play, the more you know where they are, and they're easier to get. And
it feels satisfying, doesn't it? Like once you finally make the shots, you're like, oh yeah, this is rewarding because I couldn't do this before.
Correct. It's actually not just that the shots are tight. It's a Joe Balsha layout, so it's not going to be conventional. So what that means is where you would normally hit a shot, you've got to unlearn where you would normally hit a shot, and it's either just to the left or just to the right, and that's how you learn your shots. That right inner orbit, which is the lock shot. When Josh Kugler was on our show and he said, people find that it's much easier to backhand it from the right flipper. Absolutely spot on. That is exactly what you do. It's got just enough power to get up there. So the shots are fine. The shots are fine, and the shots are very satisfying. The presentation on this machine is fantastic. It is a beautiful machine. An absolutely beautiful machine. It's glossy. It's the light show is fantastic. The attention to detail on the art and on the toys and on the chains, fantastic. The catapult that flings the ball to the back box worked every time. Just doesn't get old every time you see it. Is it a chatty game? Yeah, it is. But hold your flippers in and move on.
Did you try that out, Marty? Does it work?
Yes, yeah, it does. It's not as
is it Yeah, so it isn't just a clack. You need to do it a little bit longer.
You do need to hold the flippers in very, very briefly. It is honestly half a second, but it's not just a click of the flippers. But, once you work out how to do it once, you can then do it on.
Okay.
The soundtrack in it is amazing. I really, really enjoyed the music that they put in there. I sort of likened it to the Quake soundtrack that I think Trent Reznor did from Nine Inch Nails. Very sort of grungy electro. It's very, very cool.
The what? The Quake sound, as in Quake, the video game.
As in the video game Quake. I'm pretty sure that Trent Reznor did the soundtrack to that.
Which Quake are we talking about? Quake 3?
No, Quake 1. The PC game.
That was like how long ago was that?
A long time ago. So timeless,
I love Quake, by the way.
Music.
Rocket jumps, amazing.
I've this game is fantastic. The biggest compliment I gave it is it's a premium game like a Jersey Jack.
Yeah, you can certainly see kind of Joe Balsa took what he learned at Jersey Jack and tried to apply it as much as he could with that. I was this is one of Ryan's weird little rants, but I had a headache when I was watching your stream. So I was in another grouchy mood like I was last week with Avatar, but I wasn't there, and I was trying to kind of watch the stream while I was working. I had to close it multiple times because of a certain sound, Marty. Do you know what the certain sound was?
The woman's laughter?
Yes. Why? Why does the woman laugh when you hit the slings and it just overlaps on top of each other?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It didn't bother me at all. Didn't bother me at all.
Like that. I mean, I'm not in the market to buy a new pinball machine. I'm not in the market to buy a Houdini. That's a deal. If I was, that's a deal breaker for me. I would say, please give me access to the files so I can remove that sound completely.
Okay. Yeah.
That's just
didn't
me.
Bother me at all. In fact, I didn't really notice it until someone called it out in chat. So, yeah, which was probably you.
Yeah, it was me bitching about it.
Well, I am actually in the market for a new pinball machine. Well, even though I've got Iron Maiden coming, but you did come and pick up Game of Thrones, so I am now.
Wait,
down
Marty, how many pinball machines do you have right now?
I am now down to 2 actual machines, but 3 because I've got one coming.
Are you still qualified to be a reputable pinball podcaster, Marty? How many pinball machines do you need for that?
Oh, you only need 1, don't you?
I think some of them have none, but I was so weird walking into your house. Like, since I've known you, there's always been 3 or mostly 4.
Yeah. And
I walked in there. We took Game of Thrones out. And I looked at it, and it's just empty. It just looks so weird. Seeing you there with 2 pinball machines.
I know.
Iron Maiden will be there soon.
Iron Maiden will be there soon, but as I said, I'm now on the hunt for my 4th machine. So, Houdini is a real contender, as is Total Nuclear Annihilation. So, then they're both.
I thought you wanted a cheap pinball machine, Marty.
Yeah, so I'm not going for cheap machines like I said I was, but I'm still looking now every day. If something comes up that I kind of go, yeah, that'd be fun to have, then I'll pick that up.
And it doesn't need to be a Stern. It can still be a Bally Williams, right?
It can still be a Bally Williams as long as it's going to be a different enough experience to what I've got with the other 3 machines, and it's not a complete stinker. So there'll be no Gottliebs.
Dennis. Yeah. So I picked up your Game of Thrones this week, Marty, and it's going to go on site. I also got I think it was last week that I got a No Good Gophers, but I finally kind of put into the house, and I have played 1 game on it. I'm just too busy, but it's not a machine that sucks me in. So
no, I really don't like that game.
You know what's going to happen though? It's going to go to its owner. And then one day I'm gonna play No Good Gophers and have a really good game, and I'm like, oh man, I should have bought that pinball machine.
Yeah, and that's just kind
I should have kept it. If I play this pinball machine nonstop for 2 weeks, it'll be out of my system.
Yeah.
But like a Creature from Black Lagoon, like I no longer want to buy that machine. I had my fix.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yep.
So
tomorrow I'll be heading to Pixel Alley to play in the Three Strikes competition because I like the competition, but also Iron Maiden will be there as well. Will you be joining me, Marty?
I hope so. I'm very busy with my work at the moment, and I don't seem to be able to get out in time, but my aim is to be there.
Okay. I should be there. I might see you there.
Okay, that'll be awesome.
Cool. The mailbag, Marty.
Yes. So
shall we actually read the mailbag this time?
I know. So we actually did get this this email probably just over a little bit of a week ago, and I forgot to reply. So sorry, Paul. So this is from Paul. He says, "Hi, long time listener, first time emailer from Canberra. I've actually met Paul. Has 3 children under 5, full-time job, and golf and touch football commitments. Canberra's very few decent pinball machines, so I find myself spending more time listening to pinball podcasts than actually playing. So thank you for filling the void." So he just wanted to give some thoughts on pinball. So he said, "Pinball is definitely a sport. As far as I'm concerned, if you do something pointless just to see how well you can do it, it's sport." Yeah, fair enough. He said, "I look forward to hearing about your battle to reach Enterprise Amok." Ryan.
Ah, shit. We forgot to talk about this. Yeah.
Did you get to Enterprise Amok?
Yeah. I did.
Did you?
I got there early in the week, and I now fucking hate Star Trek because of it. Because it's weird. I used to wizard mode hunt all the time, and I used to really enjoy it. After setting up my machines, really brutal, and kind of just seeing what I can get away with without the ball draining. I kind of enjoyed the first week of it. By the second week, I was just sick of playing Star Trek. But I got there. I used the strategy of playing the second mode straight away, so it wouldn't be daunting kind of going through all the second modes in the first round. I did really well in the mode. Okay, so what the mode? Can I spoil the mode for you, Marty? Or
no,
not? You don't want to know.
No, I
you don't want to know.
Get there.
Okay. It has a lot of levels in the mode. It's not like the first mode where you kind of just like hitting shots.
Sure.
It has a lot of levels.
Okay.
I got to what I thought was having it finished, and I kind of took my phone to take a photo, and then I realized there was still one more shot to go, and I fumbled the ball trying to take a video of it. But I was still satisfied with the 800 million score or something.
Awesome.
But I will not turn on Star Trek for another 2 months after that. I'm done with Star Trek.
I did stream it last night with the intent. I'll say the intent of getting there.
Yes. And what happened instead, Marty?
Well, it didn't go well, Brian.
I started getting messages. Okay, I watched a little bit. I kind of tuned out, and I started getting messages on my phone saying, "Hey, Ryan, can you check on Marty? Is Marty okay?" I'm like, what? What happened to Marty? Like, what happened on the stream? Did he slip over and hurt himself? No, he just drank a lot of gin.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's the second time a certain event after my stream has happened that happened again, involving my pot plants on the balcony. They got a special kind of watering. But I always know. I always know when I've overdone it. When the next morning I have all these people that watch the stream reaching out to me to see if I'm okay.
Yes, when Marty drinks, he really drinks.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't get to Enterprise Amok. That's. In fact, I didn't even get close.
You're blaming it on alcohol, Marty. Come on.
No, I'm blaming it on
next week
being so pissed. Anyway,
you're easily a better player than me. So if you like stop reading, I reckon if you tried without doing the chat, I remember when we first started doing the podcast. We were talking about what's the highest score on Star Trek, and yours was like 400 million or something. And then I had a game and it was like 405 million. Literally the same night, you were like 500 million. Like, and it wasn't on the stream or anything. I reckon if you did it off air, you would get there easily.
Yeah, but I did want to do it on air. That was the problem.
There's no proof that I actually got there, right?
No, that's exactly right. Just your word.
I'm just pushing.
Just your word and Dutch Pinball's word. That's the pinball word. So anyway, back to Paul's email. He said, I bought a Star Trek Pro about 2 months ago and have yet to get there. Done it once on location and completely botched the wizard mode. Apparently that's what happens. He played that same machine during lunch breaks for about a year before he got there. He also wanted to bring up the whole Kai or Khan. Do you know what? Ever since that happened and I listened to it, I'm now hearing Kai instead of Khan.
Yeah, we realized that we totally messed up that segment by doing the wrong call out. The call out is my name is Kai/Khan. It's not the Khan bit at the end.
Yep.
So I went and found that call out, and one of our listeners, Lucas, found it as well and made a little video. And when I listened to it, I was like, it's Khan. So it must be getting mixed with all these other audio things. But then I listened to his video, and it was Kai, and it was he was going into the pinball browser and doing the same thing. So I listened to it on my phone, and it was Kai, and then I plugged in my headphones that have a lot of bass, and it was Khan.
Yeah. So
this is one of those Yanni Laurel pieces of shit things, okay?
It really is. So anyway. So he said, I love the interview with Josh Sharp. I'm an IT guy and he's dead right about us loving the ranking system and statistics. He said, my 2 cents on the ranking system, you should not be able to get to number 1 in the world without taking on the best. It's a shame, but as Australians, we either need to travel or attract the best to come here. And the Southern Hemisphere tournament seems like a step in the right direction. So there you go.
Yeah, it'd be cool if it was like boxing where, you have to take down the heavyweight champ to claim the title. Or you have to retire and someone else takes the belt. But yeah, it's pinball and people live pretty far apart. So yeah.
So there we go.
The next email is from Andrew McLean, and he was just talking about the poll he created on Pinside and what we'd like in terms of JJP Wonka or JJP Pirates. And there's a long conversation on Pinside. You can go and read it. But for me, it's theme-wise, it's Wonka. I have no idea what the layout is, and if it's a.
Yep.
Do you think they'll go back to standard bodies, Marty? I don't know. Wonka seems like the kind of game where you wouldn't mind if it was a wide body because you just want more of that world in there, right? You just want so much in there,
right? Yeah.
Like Harry Potter. Like people, I don't think people are like, I want a standard body Harry Potter. Just the widest body you can think of. Just
put it just in a bloody Hercules cabinet. I'd be happy.
Is that it for this week, mate?
That is it for this week. So if you do want to get in contact with us, please do. Go to our Facebook page. Twitter is at H2H Pinball. Email us head2headpinball@gmail.com. Instagram is Head2Head Pinball. Yeah. Oh,
Bruce yawning.
Bruce
yawning all over the place. Yeah.
Wow.
Bruce levels of tired.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Just remember, if you want to enter the competition, it's for 1 week only. By the time we are filming the next episode 50, the big 50, the competition's over, okay? And it's literally just writing an email. So stop what you're doing right now. Head2headpinball@gmail.com. Anyone can enter. Keith Alwyn, I know you're listening. You can enter. I know you love Dialed In, okay?
Yep. So you can send us in anything that you like. You could do a poem. You could do some audio if you wanted to. We don't care. We just know whatever talent you've got, just send us an email. Even if it is a picture of Ryan, that's fine.
Or just text. You can just write the Rusak bit and you're entered into the competition.
Yep.
But if you want, we don't make money from this. So if you want to make us laugh and make our day, do something cool and we'll talk about it next week.
And we've got a couple of special things lined up for next week. So we're looking forward to
a lot of special things.
The big
huge
50.
guest, Marty.
I know.
One of the biggest guests we're ever going to have. We're saving him for number 50. Confirmed he's going to come on the show today, or he or she. Sorry, because there's a lot of important women involved. There's a lot of women involved. There's a lot of wumps, Marty. I listen to it. There's a lot of wumps. So it could be a girl or a boy. So yep, and we will catch all you mother cluckers next week.
Yeah. See you later. Bye now.
See ya. Mother cluckers. So dumb.
What the fuck's that?